Ladies and gentlemen, I have a dirty little secret I'd like to let you guys know about. I am gender fluid. Yeah, I'm gender fucking fluid. So you better respect that, or fuck off. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not gender fluid. And welcome to Face Palm Sunday, the segment where we respond to stupidity on the internet. I shall forewarn you that this video could be taken down that I'm responding to, so I give anyone full permission to download this video right here that I'm making. If this video does get DMCA'd in any way, you can re-upload this video. The channel that I'm responding to has been known and prone to take down videos that disagree with them in the past. So every time I make a video like this, I'm potentially risking my video getting pulled and having my channel in a way terminated if I get more than one copyright strike. But let's see what she has to say. I'd recommend you grab some whiskey because you're definitely going to need it.
Is PC culture destroying freedom of speech? Nope.
Yep, it totally is. But just wait to the very end. The end is what just pops me. It just blows my mind at the conclusion of this video of what political correctness really is.
From YouTube comments to presidential candidates, it seems a lot of people think freedom of speech is under attack. And who, might I ask, is to blame? The god PC culture. If you've ever called out racism, sexism, ableism, or any other oppressive ism, you've probably been accused of being too PC.
Here's the thing about that. I don't think that calling out racism, sexism, homophobia, I don't think that's actually a bad thing. I think it's a very good thing. The problem is in a lot of areas, specifically in regards to sexism, and I'm just talking about sexism here, and even, to an extent, even racism, is that people use the term racism and use the term sexist and use the term misogynist where it doesn't actually apply. In other words, the word's been so desensitized because we apply it to all these things that don't actually reflect what that word really is. One of the examples I like to use where I was accused of being racist numerous times was because on my Twitter I quoted, and this was about 2 years ago, I quoted a quote that one of my neighbors said outside of my old apartment complex. Again, I quoted them. This was not me using the word per se, even though I had nothing wrong with using the word in the proper context of discussion. But I quoted the word nigga. And I know I'm saying, God, I sound so fucking white when I say nigga, N-I-G-G-A, but I quoted that in a tweet, and a shitstorm started because I quoted what this person said. And again, it was a fucking goddamn quote. It was a quote. It's not like I was calling someone that. It was not like I was using it in my day-to-day language. It was a goddamn quote. And I got some serious backlash for even attempting to quote that. I was told that I wasn't allowed to use it. I was told that if I ever use it again, it makes me more racist than I already am because I'm already racist now because I quoted the N-word. And this is just one simple, small example of where people use the term racist, and especially, I get called sexist all the time. That's my biggest one I do. I get called sexist all the fucking time because sometimes I wear a meninist sweater, which is not even a real thing. It's a parody, it's a satire, it's a joke. But simply for having a thing on your shirt, across your shirt, a joke, that's considered now sexist. If you say something, a joke, that is sexist, and someone is offended by that, you are truly sexist. Which to me just kind of completely takes away the definition of what real sexism really is, because you apply it towards every single thing you see around you that offends you or upsets you in any way. So in a lot of these cases, people who call out these sexist, racist, whatever it be, I feel as if a lot of people who are politically correct, who are genuinely politically correct individuals, use these words interchangeably, constantly, to just throw at people to shut them up.
PC is, of course, short for politically correct. Political correctness is avoiding words or behaviors.
I can't even imagine living my life today with that much anxiety that I already have. Anxiety of thinking about what words I shouldn't use in a conversation or in day-to-day life because it might offend somebody. So already you've established that political correctness is avoiding certain language, is avoiding certain behaviors because of other people. So already you're putting like a self-censorship on yourself that you won't use certain words or certain behaviors just because of other people. You are living essentially for other people, basing your life, again, on other people. Fuck, if I was doing that every day, I would be miserable.
That exclude, marginalize, or insult groups of people who are socially disadvantaged or discriminated against.
How do I know that the neighbors right across from my apartment complex, who are white by the way, who are living off welfare, who are doing drugs, would they be classified as socially disadvantaged? Political correctness is avoiding certain language and speech and behaviors of socially disadvantaged people. Can I right now claim that I'm socially disadvantaged so people will not use types of words and behaviors so I can live a more happy life?
Basically, treating people with respect.
There is a problem with respect here on the internet. In many cases where I have come across very respectful towards criticizing Islam, not mocking, because I have some videos where I've kind of made fun of Islam, but then I have videos on this channel where I've actually criticized the actual book, the Quran, and dissect it, read it, so on and so forth. And simply me criticizing that religion, I had Muslims after me saying how I disrespected them. Respect is a fucking stupid word to use in the goddamn internet. Because there's no way in hell that you and I can fucking respect everybody, and I'm definitely not gonna respect anyone's goddamn belief system that harms people or hurts people or preaches ideologies, whether that be religion or feminism, that degrades people in any way. Respect to me is earned, not given. I don't respect everybody just because, well, they deserve respect.
But a recent poll by Fairleigh Dickinson University found that 68% of Americans and 81% of Republicans agreed that a big problem this country has is being politically correct. Even 62% of Democrats polled agreed that being PC was getting out of hand. For these folks, political correctness is synonymous with weakness or being overly sensitive. Similar to the new term social justice warrior, calling someone PC is a way to derail and dismiss conversations about inequality.
Calling someone politically correct is a way to derail the conversation about inequality? What derails the conversations about inequality is when someone actually attempts to discuss the issues of inequality, specifically a man, for example, and he is told that he is not allowed to speak on behalf of defending women's rights because he's a fucking goddamn man. Or when I'm told that I'm not allowed to speak on issues of people of different color because I'm white and I've never experienced what they've experienced, therefore anything I have to say has no value. I can't voice any opinion on even defending them, all because of, well, I'm white. And they derail the conversation because of my skin color, man. That's a bit fucked up, and I've had that happen. Derailing the conversation is calling someone a rapist when they've never raped somebody. Derailing the conversation is calling someone a bigot when they're actually not a bigot, but you use the term bigot to shut them up because you don't agree with them. Derailing the conversation is calling someone a misogynist when they've never displayed any sort of misogynistic behavior. But oh, you don't agree with them, so I'm going to call them that to shut them up about whatever they believe. When I've talked to politically correct people, I've talked to them not wanting to shut them up about what they're talking about. I address them because what they usually have to say is fucking stupid. It's like those idiots who literally have tried to get Mark Twain's book pulled from shelves because it uses the N-word in the book. So they go to a bookstore and grab the book and turn it backwards and hide it under other books because they don't want other people seeing Mark Twain's writings because it uses language that's not appropriate for readers to read or see. I would never call someone politically correct to dismiss inequality, and I think if someone did do that, then that's fucked up.
Okay, PC police, you're just offended by everything. The term PC is almost always used as an insult. While it's been around for a while, it gained popularity in the 80s when it caught on with conservatives, not liberals. So why is being PC used as an insult? And what, if anything, does it have to do with free speech? Here's the thing. It's not just about hurt feelings. It's about calling out oppressive power structures, and that's where the misunderstanding comes in.
Ah, right. Oppressive power structures. This is feminist jargon for all cis white male scum.
What's perceived as being too sensitive is usually someone speaking out against lazy, offensive language that doesn't usually get challenged. That's because the group of people that those words hurt historically haven't had the opportunities to have their voices heard. And the people who call that being too PC are often in privileged positions and don't want to or haven't had to think about what they're saying, or the consequences that come with it. You can't take away my freedom of speech just because you're offended. Well, yeah. In America, freedom of speech simply means the government cannot prohibit you from expressing yourself. It's why you can criticize Obama without being thrown in jail. But on an interpersonal level, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. Technically, no subject on earth is off limits. You can say whatever you want, but in turn, people are allowed to respond however they want.
Yes, they are, which is exactly why I'm making this response video, which I hope you don't actually take down.
The fact that you can comment means you're not being censored. If you tell a crappy sexist joke and someone says, hey, that was a crappy sexist joke, that's freedom of speech.
Why do women make better soldiers? Well, it's because they can bleed all week and not die.
And if you post some racist bullshit on Facebook and your boss decides she doesn't want to employ people who spew racist bullshit on Facebook, you still have freedom of speech. And you're free to take that racist bullshit somewhere else.
Now, what I'm about to say may not be a popular opinion, but please, for the sake of this video, hear me out. I actually don't believe that people should be fired based upon what they say on their Facebook in regards to their personal beliefs. And what I mean by this is, let me explain. Say you work for a job and you go to your Facebook and you write a post about how you don't agree or don't like the religion of Islam. However, you happen to be friends with your boss at work, who your boss at work is a Muslim, but you didn't know that he was a Muslim. However, he reads your Facebook post. He doesn't like your Facebook post. The next day at work, he tells you that you're fired because of your Facebook post about why you dislike Islam. That to me is wrong. That to me is fucked up, and you should not be fired based upon your personal beliefs as long as you don't vocalize or say those types of things in a job environment. Obviously, if you make racist comments or you say discriminating things in the workplace, in the environment that you work, yes, you deserve to be fucking fired by all means. But if you hold certain beliefs, although I may not agree with those beliefs, about religion, about feminism, whatever it be, I don't believe your boss should be able to be allowed to fire you based upon what you believe personally, as long as you aren't affecting anyone in the workplace that you're working. Again, that may not be a popular opinion, but I don't believe people should be fired for that type of stuff. Now, obviously, if the coworker says, like, I hate black people, and he's working with all black people in his work, that's still different. That makes perfect sense for him to be fired on that thing because he's being racist towards his actual coworkers. But if you can hold those beliefs as fucked up as they are to yourself and not vocalize them in the work environment or treat people differently, which is hard for a lot of people to do, but if you can do it, you shouldn't be fired for it. That's just my opinion.
PC culture, treating others with respect, social justice warriors, whatever you call it, isn't prohibiting anyone's freedom of speech. It's mainly about people standing up for themselves and asking to be spoken to and spoken about in a respectful way. In fact, political correctness is expanding free speech. We're adding words to the dictionary every year in an effort to promote more inclusive and respectful speech. Last year alone, the OED added microaggressions, mansplain, and a whole host of gender terms like cisgender, agender, and gender fluid to the dictionary. That seems like giving more speech to more people.
Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow reptiles. She is advocating here that political correctness grants us more free speech, more words that we can use. In fact, she listed some awesome words right there for all of us to see. Microaggression, cisgender, that's a big one. But I think that the most interesting one the dictionary was recently added was mansplain. Because if you really want to be condescending towards a guy, and you really want to make him feel like shit, let's just mansplain his ignorance about whatever we need to talk to him about. Because mansplaining to a man is somehow not sexist or hurtful or harmful to men in any way. Because, you know, men are just too stupid, so we have to mansplain to them what feminism is. We have to mansplain to them what equality is. We have to mansplain to them what misogyny is. God, all this fucking mansplaining, what the fuck are we gonna do with our lives? I'm gonna fucking go to college and get a degree in mansplaining. I just love correcting men and I want to mansplain everything to them because they're so ignorant about the world that we live in. I'm sorry, but if you don't see the irony in the word mansplain, you don't see how that's inherently sexist and degrading towards men, then I had no idea why the fuck you're watching me on my channel. But what's even more shocking is that she's actually advocating that political correctness advocates more free speech. Which couldn't be further from the truth, obviously, if you've seen the people who go to bookstores and remove books because they have offensive titles or offensive language in the books themselves. So removing all of Mark Twain's writings because it's offensive. This entire video that she does here is attempting to mask what political correctness is, in an attempt to advocate that it's something that it's really not, so that she can get more of an audience who agrees with her flawed ideas of what political correctness is, to ban more words, ban more books, and censor more people. And if you really want to read a good book, I would recommend Trigger Warning: Is the Fear of Being Offensive Killing Free Speech by Mick Hume. You can actually get this book on audible.com. If you use my vanity URL, audible.com/Mr. Repzion, link right down below here. You can get a free month trial for audible.com. They have a massive library of over 180,000 audiobooks. That's just my personal book recommendation. There's a lot of great books there, but that's one of them that's pertaining to exactly what we're talking about. I use Audible every single night before I go to bed. I listen to it because there's just something relaxing about listening to an audiobook and falling asleep to things that stimulate your mind. Again, here's my vanity URL. Pretty, please. Audible.com/Mr. Repzion. Thedarkside.teamspeak3.com. This is my Teamspeak URL. I am in here almost every single evening. The community is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a place for people to come together, talk, play games, and have fun.